I'm John Crandon. This is Bob Jenkins. So long, everyone.
Back in June at the True Value Spring Run, it was a weekend full of surprises. Greg Gerlach rolled over in the Class 4 race. There were surprises in the winner's circle, such as Scott Taylor in Class 8, Kevin Probst in Class 4, and Jeff Dorr in the Heavy Metal Showdown. Those three are back to take on the Masters, Jack Flannery of Crandon, Wisconsin, and Walker Evans of Riverside, California. Today, it's the biggest short course race in the world, the True Value Brush Run on Speed World. ESPN, the world's leader in motorsports coverage, presents Speed World. Today, from Crandon, Wisconsin, it's the True Value Brush Run 101. Today's ESPN Speed World event is brought to you by True Value Hardware Stores. You can do it with True Value Hardware. By Quaker State, the Big Q is one tough motor oil. And by Ford and your Ford dealers. Have you driven a Ford lately? We're in the rolling hills of northern Wisconsin, in the town of Crandon, with a population of normally 2,000 people. But today, 40,000 people from 7 states and Canada have converged on this racetrack for the 27th running of the True Value Brush Run 101. Weather conditions are ideal. Temperatures in the mid-60s, a brisk northerly breeze from 10 to 20 miles an hour, and very little chance of rain here in Crandon. Hello again, everybody. I'm Marty Reed, and a real treat for us here on Speed World to have the Iron Man, Ivan Stewart, alongside to help analyze today's broadcast. And Ivan, you've driven every type of race vehicle on every type of course. This is a little bit of both, a little bit of desert and a little bit of the stadium.
That's right, Marty. You know, in a stadium, we're so tight, we're so confined. You're right inside the stadium on top of everybody. There's a lot of traffic, not much speed, opposed to a desert where we're doing 120 miles an hour possibly, Baja 1,000 across these rough terrains. This is something in between. This is a lot of speed, a lot of ups and downs, beautiful rolling hills, great track conditions, and it takes kind of a different type of a truck. This is a kind of a specialized type of racing back here in the Midwest. I'm really looking forward to some great racing.
I got to ask you the truth. Would you rather be out there racing?
Oh, let me tell you, Marty, I'd love to be out with these guys. Like I say, the conditions are great, and I'd love to be out there.
Well, we're not going to let you out of this because we want you up here with us.
All right.
Also working with us today on the broadcast is Jerry Garrett.
Well, we're down here in the pits, Marty and Ivan, with the guy that we think is going to be the big story today, and that's Walker Evans. And what do you think about your buddy Ivan being up in the broadcast booth?
Well, I think that's a good place for him after all. I've had to contend with him for years.
You don't want to let him off the hook that easy, though, do you?
No, I really don't. I still want to race him, believe me.
Today out here, you've detuned your motor a little bit after some engine breakage in the June race. Do you think that's going to give you the reliability that you want?
Well, I certainly hope so. We've talked about it, and we think that probably we've just been trying to get too much out of them. So by slowing some of the engine speed down and changing a little bit of things inside of it, we think we got a reliable engine.
In practice, we've seen you just still screaming out there, so you must have plenty of horsepower still.
We do have plenty of horsepower. We changed the gearing a little bit, so the speed is still up.
Let's take a look while we've got a moment at the course here at Crandon. You can see on the rolling hillsides of northern Wisconsin, right in the middle is Parsons Pond. Now, the course winds its way around that body of water, and twice the drivers go by it. And it got its name last year when Dave Parsons, in this very same race, a year ago, went over and almost went in upside down into the pond. Here's the starting lineup for today's first race, which will be the Class 8 Championship. Walker Evans from Riverside and Jack Flannery will square off, along with the defending champion from the spring race, Scott Taylor, along with Pete Vandehage.
Pete leads the points championship for this series right now, and Scott is trying to catch him.
Also in the field on the starting grid will be Dave Parsons, the man who got very wet last year at this event, and Jimmy Crowder, who Ivan has made the long trek from Tallahassee, and you've raced against him.
Yeah, Jimmy comes out from Florida. He's a great driver.
Here's the rest of the starting field. Chuck Brand, Brian Dunleavy, Dennis Furden, Pat Flanagan, Don Gregory. As this is a huge Class A field. Dave Hockers, Frank Hood, John Conitzer, Tom Vandehey also on the starting line. And there they are. It's a long land rush start, Jerry.
Yeah, boy, it's going to get dusty for the guys in the rear of the pack, Marty. Only the guys out in front have good vision on this start. Everybody else is just about driving blind. Here's one guy who has a good view, and that's Walker Evans from in-car, our Shell Truck Guard in-car camera. He is first into turn 1.
And Ivan, the speeds they reach down through this turn 1 can sometimes reach 90 miles an hour.
That truck of Walker's is phenomenal. It's very, very fast, as you know, Marty.
Jack Flannery right behind him. Here comes the rest of the field, up and over the ridge, down through the valley into the shadow of death, because this is heading for the gravel pit where a lot of trucks end up braking.
Well, Walker has to kind of be careful right here because he's running on dry tires, desert tires, while a lot of these other guys are running on mud tires. They've watered the course extensively. There's going to be a couple of laps until the course dries out. And until then, Walker's really got to drive very, very carefully, very technically, or else he could spin it out. We saw him spin the truck out, in fact, in the spring race, and he's going to lay off a little bit, he said, because of that.
And, Jerry, you know, Jack Flannery's got mud tires on there, and that makes quite a difference until this track gets so drier.
There's Dennis Furden trying to hold off Scott Taylor. That is the battle for third. There is your leader, Walker Evans, right behind Jack Flannery. Boy, Flannery really closes up on him there.
You can see Jack can dive a little deeper into the corners and come out with a little more traction than Walker can right now.
Walker told me before the race, you just can't have too much horsepower on this track.
Talking about horsepower, Scott Taylor's trying to find enough to get around Dennis Furden. Coming down the front straightaway again, looking to the inside. Flannery, can he make it? No. Walker Evans is going to hold the lead into turn 1 again.
Jack wanted to get out of Walker's dust and dirt a little bit there. A lot of rocks coming up. Oh, see that stuff coming in through the front windshield. Flannery taking a lot of punishment.
You can hear the crowd in the background. Ivan, can you hear them when you're in the truck?
Not really, Marty, but you can sense when there's a great race like this going on, they're into it.
Here's the battle for third. That is Scott Taylor on the outside of Dennis Furden. Can he make it stick? Up and over the rise. Way outside. Furden doing all he can to hold him off. Here comes Taylor. He's going to take the position.
We see the advantage of the horsepower there. Scott Taylor has a lot of horsepower in that Ford motor. He is coming back from a bad start, and he is way behind Walker Evans right now. I don't know if he can make it up and repeat the feat that he had here in the spring race where he won that event. Inside again with Walker Evans. And is it really this soft a ride, Ivan?
You know, Marty, it is a soft ride. You know, the hours that we spend in there is a lot of time. That's what beats you up. And the ride quality is really very well.
Down into the hard left hand, which will take him down to the back portion of the course, and inside looking at Walker. And again, always left hand on the steering wheel, right hand on the gearbox.
Walker's always driven with that style. He's just a real relaxed driver, and that's what you want. He goes very fast, but he does it with a lot of ease. He doesn't work hard at it.
Flannery has dropped back a little bit. Walker has extended his lead as he heads down into turn 1 again.
I think Flannery has a problem.
He does. Jerry, you picked it up, and Jack Flannery is pulling over to the side. There comes Scott Taylor. He'll come past to take second place. One of the problems that Flannery's had with this new truck, the new Chevrolet is developing, is he's got so much horsepower that's been breaking transmissions, and I think that's what's happened again because we can hear the engine running. There's your leaderboard. Jimmy Crowder's moved up to third, Dennis Furden fourth, Dave Parsons fifth. Back with more of the True Value Brush Run after this.
Here are 10 good reasons for you to shop at True Value hardware stores. If you come up with any others, we'll be here to help. You can do it with True Value hardware stores.
In the last 5 years, one truck manufacturer has won more off-road races than anyone, including 4 class championships in 1990 and the mini and heavy metal championships. That truck manufacturer is Ford. And that kind of winning performance goes beyond the winner's circle.
Let's go! Introducing the Bud Light Jaguar Racing Team. Catch it this season.
Let's go. All revved up and ready to go.
How do we get the truck back?
Throw it in reverse.
Let's go.
Back at the True Value Brush Run 101, this is Marty Reed along with Jerry Garrett and Ivan the Ironman Stewart, and that's Walker Evans closing in on Dave Hockers. And Ivan, when you're approaching lap traffic, what's going through your mind?
Well, on this particular course, Marty, is the rocks. A lot that we don't see, there's a lot of rocks in this course, and it can knock a hole through the radiator or hit you in the face, so he has to really watch for those rocks.
Well, in past races here, in fact, in one event last year, Walker got taken out with a flat tire.
He got too close to lap traffic. The guy didn't see him in time and came right down on top of his tire on another jump and blew his tire out. And that was the end of the day for Walker.
And you can see Walker has backed out of it a little bit here, waiting for the right opportunity to move around Dave Hockers.
I know Walker well, and he's not going to wait very long. He's going to get frustrated in a minute and take this guy. You watch him.
His patience wears thin in a hurry, you're saying.
Will the cue be when he starts banging on the steering wheel from the in-car?
And then he starts banging in the back of the truck there, and then here he goes.
The battle for second place is really a one-man show right now. Scott Taylor just not able to recover from that bad start, Jerry.
The start is a lot to do with the whole race here. If you have a bad start, you're digging yourself out the whole rest of the way, and that's what happened to Scott.
That's Dennis Furden, followed by Dave Parsons. That is the battle for third. Right behind them is Pete Van de Heye.
This would be Parsons' best finish here. Heck of a lot better than going in the pond last year.
Boy, that's for sure. I've not been able to ask him whether or not he really appreciates having the pond named after him, but it will live forever as Parsons Pond.
Well, Parsons is smoking now, so that's a problem for that truck to see if it'll hold together for another lap.
There's your overall leader, Walker Evans, with a wide lead over second place Scott Taylor. And Ivan, you can see his suspension system works so well.
Oh, Walker's got that truck really dialed in. It just carries the front end out there beautiful. Just fun to watch.
This is the 877 of Pat Flanagan. Look out, the Miller Genuine Draft truck is getting a little sideways.
I guess his tires haven't quite hooked up yet.
Dave Parsons in third.
A little more smoke coming out of that car now. Looks like it might be transmission.
Down in the gravel pit one last time. This is Walker Evans looking like he's on his way to winning here in Class 8. Let's stay with him at the in-car and take it on around. What's the view like from inside when you get that checkered flag, Ivan?
Oh, there's nothing like that. That's what we race for, Marty. That's what we're all looking for is the checkered flag and the first guy to get there. That's a great feeling right there.
What about the kiss from the trophy girl?
That's part of the deal too, Marty. That's also fun.
Okay, stay with us when we come back at the True Value Brush Run 101. We'll talk to our winner, Walker Evans.
These young people are the key to our future. The law firm of Davis & Davis is proud to support the youth of the communities where we live and work. Davis & Davis is committed to Fayette County's future leaders, the children, who offer all of us a world of promise.
The Movie Channel. The movie anytime you want one channel. The All Movie Channel. The Movie Channel.
Chalk up Winston Cup Championship number 5 to the teamwork of Dale Earnhardt, Good Ranch Racing, and genuine GM parts.
Marty Reed, Jerry Garrett, and Ivan Stewart back with you at the True Value Brush Run 101. That is our leader, Jeff Prost. and he is still running in front of John Greaves, but the battle is getting closer from those puffs of smoke, and the word we're getting from his pit, and he is stalling there, is he's having an intermittent electrical problem, Ivan.
Ah, I see. Boy, that is frustrating. He's doing so well. That's a shame.
There goes the pass for the lead. John Greaves is going to take over, and all of a sudden, see, now it cuts back in.
That's really an irritating problem, I'll tell you. But you never know what could happen. It could clear up. You never know.
What do you do in that situation? Do you feather the throttle? Do you bang on the dash?
You do a little cussing maybe, Marty, but basically maybe you can shake something on the dashboard and get the wires connect again.
Well, here is John Greaves. Whoa! Greaves gets a little wide heading down towards the big left-hander and almost collides into our base of our camera position. There's a big, huge mound of dirt there that he hits first and bounces back on course, but that allows Probst to close up.
And closing behind them, Art Schmidt in third place now. He's got designs of closing in on these guys and taking over the top spot himself.
Let's go back to this moment with John Greaves.
Little too much horsepower on the wheels there as he goes around the corner. Overcorrects coming back here and dusts off the rocks there. That's a good way to get a flat tire.
Back to the battle up front. Greaves trying to hold off Probst, and he goes around him on the outside. Can he make it stick? So obviously that electrical problem is definitely intermittent, Ivan.
Marty, I see that there's one place in the course that seems to come in worse, and that's down at the far end.
Do you notice it was on a left-hand turn there, and the gravel pit is a left-hander? Maybe that could be it, because look at this. Here is Greaves opening it up again.
That's right. I think in this next corner is where it acts up for some reason.
Oh, let's see if it happens. Big puff of smoke again. Greaves, Probst, and look at it. He stalls dead in the water. So the left-hand corners, Ivan, are absolutely deadly to Probst.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. That's just a shame, though.
That is lap traffic that just went by. He is still in second place. He's got a sizable margin back to third. There is Art Schmidt. That is lap traffic behind him. Lee Wiestoff, he had passed him earlier. And Schmidt may be able to get around, though, and pass him before this race ends. This is fourth place. Todd Adigan, he's not going to be fourth for long because you can't do it on three wheels.
He broke off the whole wheel assembly there, it looked like, Ivan.
Yeah, it sure did. It's hard to tell what happened on that. The big jump back there, evidently.
Is that usually fatigue in the part?
Normally, something like that would be fatigue. Absolutely, Marty.
That's Scott Schwalbe getting ready to come by. He has now moved into fourth place as he passes this man, Todd Adigan. Here, we'll get another look at it.
That could have been a part that was just ready to break and just happened to come loose right on that one jump.
Well, it's been very costly for Todd Adigan as he is now out of this race here in the Unlimited Buggy Challenge at the True Value Brush Run 101. Well, this is lap traffic. In fact, 3 lap vehicles in front of our race leader, John Greaves. And Greaves has opened up a wide margin over second place, Jeff Probst. But there is the leader of the race, and all he has to do is make a few more turns. Now, Ivan, do you just lay back here and not press the issue?
Well, I think he's probably aware of what's going on. As long as you're aware of who's behind you and what you can do, that's probably what he just paced himself, I'm sure.
Well, there is all the lap traffic. He is the last car in sight there. In fact, those two going for position in front of him, but there is Greaves. He'll be taking the checkered flag as he comes around the corner for the last time to win the Unlimited Buggy Challenge here at the True Value Brush Run 101. Now the question is second place. There is Jeff Probst, but there is Art Schmidt. He's going to take him as he looks like he's just not going to make it to the finish line.
Well, he had to go around that last left-hand turn before he could get to the finish line, and that just killed his chances.
So Art Schmidt will finish second. Here comes Jeff Probst, bringing it home third in a struggle at the True Value Brush Run 101. Stay with us. We'll talk to our winner right after this.
It's Saturday morning out in the garage. Time to tune up the car for a little spin at about 200 miles per hour. This is the International Race of Champions, and these are master mechanic tools from True Value hardware stores, because around here, performance really counts, and these guys need tools they can count on. So do you. So get master mechanic tools from participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Sony compact disc players. Your ears will tell you. It's not only what you play,
It's what you play it on.
One manufacturer has more NASCAR victories than anyone. More NHRA Pro Stock victories than anyone. More consecutive IMSA GTO victories at Daytona than anyone. And more off-road victories in the last 5 years than anyone. That manufacturer is Ford. No wonder nobody enjoys the weekend like Ford.
Just part of the 40,000 jammed here at Crandon, Wisconsin for the True Value Brush Run 101. Let's go to our winner's circle. Here's Ivan Stewart.
Well, I got Johnny Greaves with me, the winner of this race. And Johnny, it looks like you did a heck of a job, and you had your hands full with Jeff Prost out there. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, Jeff got the whole shot as usual. He's got a lot of motor there. He's running that Chevy V6, and this is our brand new Toyota 22R motor, and we thought, well, we'll give it a try out here at Crandon, and he did get a whole shot, a little more top end, but in the long run, we caught up. I don't know if he had any problems. We lost some power steering, but we hung in there, and boy, that Toyota just ran tough.
Great job, and I did notice that power steering belt was gone. Great job on that. Thank you, Johnny.
Right.
Well, that makes it tough when that power steering belt is off on this course. Our congratulations to winner John Greaves. Art Schmidt came in second. Jeff Probst had to settle for third. Scott Schwalbe came up for fourth, and James Struble was our fifth place finisher.
Well, as you look at the winners from the Unlimited Buggy Challenge, we want to tell you that the next race, the Class 7 race, got an interesting driver in it. Dave Vandenelsen is running a truck that's totally powered by natural gas. Here's Ivan Stewart.
I'm standing here with two Class 7 trucks behind me that appear to be exactly the same, but there is one big difference. Let me show you. This is Jim Bradley's Ford, and like 99% of the trucks out here, it's powered by gasoline. And this is the Ford truck of David Vandenelsen. And come on back and let me show you what's really unique about this particular truck. This is the fuel cell. And believe it or not, this is filled with natural gas. And as we come up front, you may notice a couple of features that look very familiar. One being the regulator. The same type of regulator that regulates the natural gas that goes into your house, regulates the fuel in this particular race truck. Two unique benefits in this particular truck. One is I can fill the tank for just $1.75. The other is it has no floats. It will not flood the carburetor with gasoline.
Did it partly for experimental reasons. I work for a gas utility in Green Bay, and we are looking for alternative fuels to run in motor vehicles. Natural gas is one way that we can go, and it is working good. I like to mix my business and pleasure, I guess, and it's working out really good.
One interesting fact about this natural gas powered truck is if he does get into a wreck, does get run into, the natural gas just dissipates in the air.
Let's get ready now for this Class 7 battle. From Lake Havasu, Arizona, it'll be Spencer Lowe and his Nissan going against the Ford Rough Rider of Fallbrook, California's Paul Simon.
Representing the hopes of the Midwest, Scott Taylor and Jim Wiggins, a couple guys from Illinois, going at it in the points championship. Dixon, Illinois, by the way, is the home of President Reagan.
Tom Hawkers from Greenleaf, Wisconsin. I don't know any presidents from there. From Argonne, it'll be Jeff Kincaid. And these two will be looking to punch their way into victory lane as well as these guys. Beto Bailey, Jeff Paczynski, Jim Bradley, Robert Chastain, Gary Coppins also in the field. Then we've also got Brian Farrell, Dave Hammeister, Greg Smith, Chris Stanley, and the natural gas-powered truck of Dave Vandenelsen. Green flag just about ready to drop, and we're underway again on the land rush start. And Ivan, if you were driving, what would you be doing?
Well, Marty, depends on how much horsepower you have. If you're on the outside lane, you can carry more speed through that corner. But I would rather be out front just because I like that mud in my opponent's face.
Well, here they come through. That's Scott Taylor and Spencer Lowe going after Jeff Kincaid behind them, along with Paul Simon. So four guys pretty much within striking distance. It's Lowe who's going to take the corner away from Scott Taylor. But whoa, gets a little outside. Taylor managing to hold that inside line.
Spencer Lowe always does a great job, a lot of experience, and he probably has the lightest truck in the field here.
Heading down into the gravel pit for the first time, it's Spencer Lowe with about 4 truck lengths on Scott Taylor. The real battle, Jeff Kincaid trying to hold off Paul Simon. Simon, again, not getting the kind of start that he wanted. He had a bad experience back in the spring race. Actually, got banged into quite severely. Kincaid has opened up a few truck lengths.
Kincaid and Scott Taylor in front of him are both smoking. Kincaid may just have some oil buildup from having the tank full on the start and having it shaking around there. Scott Taylor has had to worry about transmissions all through this weekend.
Ivan, if you were behind those guys and seeing that smoke, what would that be telling you?
Well, you got quite a bit of time in this race. I'd be watching and looking for the advantage to get by them because it looks like they've obviously got kind of a engine rings going away or some sort of problem.
Right now, the battle is tightening for the lead. That is Spencer Lowe, Scott Taylor in second. It looks like Taylor is able to catch him up on the braking end of it, but then Spencer seems to pull away a little bit on the straightaway. Down the straightaway again they come. That is Spencer Lowe way over on the left-hand side.
You see the differences in opinions drivers have about which is the fast line through here.
Well, obviously it worked for Spencer. Here comes Scott Taylor, Jeff Kincaid. They are leaning on each other as they hit a turn. Whoa! Looked like he almost caught a rut there, Kincaid did, but he saves it.
Kincaid is in the worst possible spot for that corner, right behind Scott Taylor, and his backwash, as I call it, from the rocks and everything, and he has to have a vision problem when he goes through there.
We have to remember this type of a course is really hard on the drivetrain and the engine. You're just about really using that motor.
Look at the smoke now. It's getting more profound out of Scott Taylor's truck as he still seems to be able to stay within striking distance of Spencer Lowe, but how long will be the question. This is a battle for 8th position. That's Beetle Bailey on the left, and Gary Coppins, that is for 8th position on the race course.
Beetle Bailey got a tire going down there in the right rear, and that's causing him to sway across the course and almost get nailed by Coppins there.
Well, they've made contact once, almost made it a second time. Whoa, no, that's Dave Vanden Elsen, our natural gas-powered truck, and word is that he has broken a rocker arm and is going to be nursing it home for the day. So bad news. So nothing wrong with the fuel system, just got to figure out how to get those rocker arms to stay in one piece.
What a great track, though. Look how wide this is, and just great racing, good passing, fantastic track to race on.
Fantastic countryside as well. You get a peek at it as we take a look at the leaderboard here at the True Value Brush Run 101. Stay with us.
You?
Yeah, me.
Russ, you have no eye for color.
I'm picking out the paint. I know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing.
You can do it, Russ. This True Test custom color system makes it easy to match colors, just like a decorator.
Admit it, Ellen. I picked out the perfect colors.
Yes, but who would ever believe it?
You can do it with True Value hardware stores.
How do you change the best-built full-size pickup in America? You painstakingly reshape the exterior until it's more refined. Make the instrument panel more user-friendly. The available power controls easier to reach. And you redesign the interior for unexpected comfort.
The best never rest.
How did we change the full-size Ford pickup? Very carefully. More people are driving the best-built, best-selling American trucks than ever before.
Marty Reed, Jerry Garrett, and Ivan Stewart back with you at the True Value Brush Run 101. Let's bring you up on some things that happened while we were away. Scott Taylor has dropped out with an engine problem. That is the battle for the lead right now. That is Spencer Lowe first. Second over the jump is Jeff Kincaid. Third is Paul Simon. This is a great race, guys.
Well, it seems like Spencer Lowe's truck has lost a little something. Oh, Jeff Kincaid just about lost the handle on that and went over.
Driving technique needed to save it when you go on the bicycle, Ivan?
Well, possibly a little bit more throttle there. Maybe he's losing a little bit of horsepower. If you keep that back tire spinning, it won't normally hook like that and raise up on two wheels.
That put Paul Simon into second place and stretched out Spencer Lowe's advantage over the two of them, but seems like Spencer keeps falling back into their clutches. He must not have quite the power that he did before.
Let's go back and take another look at that. Maybe he did do that under braking. Possibly a little bit too much speed under braking. He got up on two wheels there. He's also going to let Paul Simon get by.
So he loses the position, maybe over aggressiveness, maybe a tire hooks up on him, but it's still costly either way. But here he comes, hammering back and going to take the position again. Whoa, into turn one, he's got the inside line and passes Paul Simon, and that may be a little local knowledge because he's raced here more often than Paul Simon, but a great pass.
I tell you, I'm really impressed with Jeff's driving ability.
This is Gary Coppins. Now he is stopped at the finish line trying to get it underway again. We're going to show you the reason why Gary came to a halt near the finish line. He gets a little sideways and nose heavy. And Ivan, what does that do to your head, your stomach, and your back?
Well, let me tell you, that jars everything you've got, including a drivetrain and all the suspension components. That's no fun, I'll tell you.
You start out 6'3" and you end up 6 foot. So here we go back to the action, and boy, these guys are not letting up on each other. Kincaid putting the pressure on Spencer Lowe, and Paul Simon doing the same to Kincaid.
Kincaid's truck has been smoking the whole race. I don't know what that is, but he's either got a huge oil tank or something that's not causing him to slow down at all.
Well, that's the Kincaid family among the 40,000 cheering their boy on. He is trying to reel in Spencer Lowe. There they go, down through turn 1 again. Again, about 4 truck lengths between the 3 of them, but it's closing up here. Kincaid reeling in Spencer Lowe.
I think that smoke we're seeing is only oil on the headers, possibly.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's got plenty of horsepower. Here he comes on the inside. They touch. And then Jeff Kincaid makes the pass stick as he muscles his way past Spencer Lowe to take the lead here in the Class 7 battle. And Paul Simon moving in on Spencer. And Spencer's wide.
I tell you that Jeff Kincaid is really doing a great job. I'm really... he ought to be in the Mickey Thompson series. He's driving like
Spencer Lowe loses another position. Paul Simon did manage to make the pass stick through the gravel pit. So there is the 2nd and 3rd place contender. So Spencer, in less than 4 turns, has gone from 1st to 3rd.
Well, he definitely is losing a little bit of something off that motor because it was running very strong early in the race. It just doesn't seem as crisp anymore. Sounds okay.
White flag is out. Jeff Kincaid on his way to victory here in the Class 7 championship. Look at the crowd in the background, and a lot of them are cheering for this man. Here's the pass, Ivan.
Boy, a great pass. Look at that. He just slides right underneath him, a little tap, and away he goes. Great job.
No harsh rulings from the rough driving committee, huh?
No, I don't think that was quite harsh enough.
Okay, we're back to the turn 1 sequence as, boy, Kincaid takes that outside line. Lowe has gotten back around for 2nd place with Paul Simon down that straightaway, but they are leaning on each other here into turn number 2.
Well, Paul and Spencer have raced a lot together, so this could be real good here. They get real close.
They may not win the race, but whoever wins this battle is going to have the bragging rights right now.
Spencer holds him off as they head down towards the gravel pit. It is almost a given that that man will win the race. Jeff Kincaid, just 1 more turn after this one. 1 big jump. That smoke still pouring out the back, but obviously nothing to worry about in the Miller Genuine Draft Ford as Jeff Kincaid is on his way to victory lane here at the True Value Brush Run 101. 2nd place is up for grabs. There goes Kincaid past the checkered flag. It's Spencer Lowe 2nd. Paul Simon 3rd, and boy, are the hometown fans ecstatic with this win, only the 2nd of his career for Jeff Kincaid in the Miller Genuine Draft Ford. Stay with us. We'll be back to talk to our winner in victory lane right after this.
It's Saturday morning out in the garage. Time to tune up the car for a little spin at about 200 miles per hour. This is the International Race of Champions, and these are master mechanic tools from True Value hardware stores, because around here, performance really counts, and these guys need tools they can count on. So do you. So get master mechanic tools from participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
One car manufacturer has more NASCAR victories than anyone. Winning over 350 NASCAR races, over 4 decades of racing. That car manufacturer is Ford. And that kind of winning performance goes beyond the winner's circle.
When you play the game and you're looking good, there's a Bud Light way and it's understood.
If you're into looking good, get into Bud Light. Clean, fresh taste won't fill you up, never let you down.
You can taste it, feel it, know you got it right, 'cause everything else is just a light. Everything else is just a light. Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. Just a light. Everything else is just a light.
Marty Reed, Jerry Garrett, and Ivan Stewart back at the True Value Brush Run 101. Ivan has made his way to the victory podium to talk to our winner. Ivan?
I'm here with the winner, Jeff Kincaid. And Jeff, I got to say, that's some of the best driving I've seen in years. We saw you go up on 2 wheels. Can you tell us about that? Do you think it was all over?
I don't know. That was a little bit scary there, but I pulled her back down and had to downshift her a little more and go at her. That Miller Genuine Draft pulled her out, though.
Great job. Did you have any other, were you aware you were smoking at all, Jeff?
That's my panty bagger. That wasn't too much problem there. I wasn't too worried about that, but after I got her going pretty good, I had a little miss at the beginning, but after that, she took right off. And I dug in, set my pace, and I knew I was catching on Spencer Lowe there, and once I got him in sight, I knew I could get by him.
How are the track conditions today?
Excellent track conditions. The truck hooked up beautiful on them Armstrong tires. My motor ran great on Valvoline oil. It's just a superb job the truck did. Just great.
Jeff, do you have any trouble with the rocks out here? I notice there's a lot of rocks on the track. Any trouble at all with those?
Not too bad. There's a couple times I got behind there, and there's a couple big ones that come out. And luckily, my bug shield there, my little windshield I got built in there, it protected me from them, though.
Well, our congratulations to Jeff Kincaid. Only the second time he's won, but he knows how to get all his sponsors in there. Second place, Spencer Lowe. Third place goes to Paul Simon. Fourth was Greg Smith, and Beetle Bailey came back from that flattening tire to finish fifth.
Yeah, it held on long enough. Now, before we go to the Heavy Metal Championship, we want to bring you back to last June when Greg Gerlach ended up going end over end, side over side. I mean, he hit every corner that there was to hit on this truck. He was unhurt. The truck was way beyond repair to be able to make it to the race. He has had a tough time getting it rebuilt for all the races, but he's back together. In fact, before today's race, he had a chance to talk with our Ivan Stewart.
I'm here with Greg Gerlach, and Greg had a heck of a crash here in June this year, and I've been upside down myself. Greg, can you tell us what's going through your mind today as you start today's race?
Well, as I start today's race, that the wreck actually is in the back of my mind. You know, I looked at the corner, I've walked the corner, and I think I've got it handled now. You just have to go back through it. I knew they weren't going to change the track for me when I came back here, so same corner's there, and we're going to run on through it again this time.
Anything, do you have any idea what caused that accident?
At first we thought it was a mechanical failure, but after reviewing the films a number of times, we just feel that I might have come into it a little bit hot, and things just went out of control, and the truck lifted and over it went.
And you can do something different today than you did in that last race in June then?
Well, first of all, we lowered the truck a couple inches. We did a little changes on the suspension, and I'm going to take a wider line. I'm not going to hug that inside anymore, just in case that rut is in there yet.
So good luck to you today, Greg.
Thank you very much, Ed.
Well, in the Class 4 race, everything started safely. There you see Greg making it through turn one. There's Jack Flannery in the early lead. Greg was fourth. And you can see he made it around turn one, as did everyone else, extremely well and very clean. Right behind him was Kevin Probst in second place, but Flannery dropped out early with transmission problems.
Once again, all that horsepower broke the input shaft on the transmission. That was 3 input shafts for this weekend.
From that point, Kevin Probst took over the lead, a lead that he would never relinquish in this Class 4 race. Dave Hameister was one of several trucks that went out with problems.
Jeff Dorr, the heavy metal winner from our spring race, came back to finish second in this event after a very poor start.
And again, this was a good tune-up for Jeff as he was getting ready, along with this guy, Joey Flannery, for the race coming up next, the big heavy metal showdown. Flannery, the cousin of Jack Flannery. Then there were others who had problems. Jason Janas, for one, he decided it was a NASCAR race and it was going to be all left turns. After the 360, he got back on course, lost the quarter panel earlier in the race. And then Scott Smith literally decided to toast some marshmallows in the back of his truck. Now, first he didn't realize he was on fire, but then he does the smart thing and pulls over right in front of the water truck and then decides it's time to bail out of here. And as he's getting out, he realizes it's drifting, so he says, well, wait a minute, maybe I can shove it into gear and keep it going. But Scott, just get out of there and take care of business. And we can tell you he was safe. In fact, afterwards, we talked to him about being the hottest driver on course.
Yeah, well, it was going pretty good, and all of a sudden I caught some flames out of the right side of the corner of my eye, and I thought there was another truck on fire up alongside me until I realized it was myself who was on fire.
Well, everything was okay, and we'll find out if he's able to get it back together for the Heavy Metal Championship, because Kevin Probst went on to win the Class 4 crown here at the True Value Brush Run 101. So that brings us to the showdown. Heavy metal time, as Jack Flannery has got that Class 4 repaired, and he'll go up against Walker Evans in his big Class 8. These two squaring off one more time.
And Scott Taylor trying to get himself in the winner's circle. Got one last chance this weekend. And Jimmy Crowder, who, by the way, is driving Jack Flannery's old Ford pickup from last year.
Also in the starting field, defending champion in this event from the spring run was Jeff Dorr, Rockford, Illinois, and Bill Lowe from Marquette, Michigan. It is a huge field. We've got 32 total trucks. Besides these guys, you've got Chuck Brand, Jerry Bundy, Al Drews, Joe Dunlap, and Joey Flannery, Greg Gerlach, Ron Hill, Dave Hockers, Frank Hood, John Conitzer, hold your breath, we'll get them all in here. Mylan Mazanik, Stephen McCrossan, Mark Palatine, Dave Parsons, and Mike Savage, as well as Bill Sherm, Scott Smith, Pete, and Tom Vandehei, and the green flag is dropped, guys, and here we go. The showdown is 32 trucks head for turn 1.
This is when you'd like to have a lot of horsepower and even four-wheel drive, possibly, Marty.
Well, you can see Jack Flannery started on the outside, and look at the angle he's taken, and he's going to take the lead over Walker Evans, and now we're going to find out what it's like to eat a lot of dirt. Whoa, getting a little sideways.
You can see that Walker still got those desert tires on, driving through a lot of mud, and he is sashaying around all over the course.
Behind Walker Evans in third, it's Joey Flannery and Bill Loaf, so we've got a Flannery sandwich right now on Evans. Jack and Joey with Walker in between.
And that four-wheel drive truck of Jack really gets hooked up in this mud.
Now the question mark again is, will the reliability of the transmission and the drivetrain allow Jack Flannery to win this race, get to the finish line?
Anytime you add that another two-wheel drives driving the truck, Marty, you're just adding that much more possibility for a breakdown. And we'll see what happens with the four-wheel drive.
So far, so good as Flannery makes the turn, which will be the finish line just a few more times around.
You see Walker Evans hug the inside of that turn, trying to find some dry track for those dry desert tires he's running.
Well, that's Joey Flannery in third, Bill Loaf in fourth, and whoa, look out, Jimmy Crowder gets crowded right off the racetrack.
Jimmy almost got pushed into that finish line pole.
And that's Jason Janos at the bottom of your screen. He's back underway. There is Walker Evans, followed by Joey Flannery, followed by Bill Loaf. And Walker trying to reel in Jack Flannery and not having much success.
I think as we see this track get drier and drier, we're going to see Walker pick up the pace and pick up the pace. We'll get all that horsepower hooked up here pretty quick.
So far, everything going Flannery's way as he is thundering down through turn one more time. And you can see the fans lined up along the fence, and you can hear them.
Jack's a great favorite here, and he's hoping that four-wheel drive truck stays together, I'll tell you.
So are the fans. Boy, they are in full volume, and so is that Chevy Thunder as he goes around, a little wide in that turn. Tires breaking loose, but Jack makes the save before he gets into trouble. Heads down towards the gravel pit. Boy, he has opened up a big lead. Look out, that is Greg Gerlach. He is into the fencing, and Gerlach has torn up his truck again. Last June he did it, and he's done it again here. Look out there. People are having a tough time getting around him because he's on the blind side of that hill.
That's an awful dangerous spot to be in, Marty, I tell you.
I wonder if there's something wrong up at the apex of this corner, because we saw Jack Flannery go really wide there. Greg Gerlach has gone wide. Let's take a look at the previous lap here. This is Pete Vandehei. He also went wide. Perhaps there's some oil or something up at the apex of that corner. It's making people slide out into that berm and hit the fence. In Gerlach's case, almost goes over the fence and out into the street.
Well, we should tell you it's about 100 yards further on into the pavement area of the roadway that goes by the race course here. So it would have had to go quite a distance, but boy, that truck's going nowhere right now.
Marty, they're probably carrying 60, 70 miles an hour through that corner, so you can imagine how tough that is to make.
There goes our leader, Jack Flannery, past the damaged vehicle of Greg Gerlach, and boy, Walker's tiptoeing through there also, so everybody's gotten the message, slow down. As we're at the True Value Brush Run 101, we'll speed it back up right after this. There's your leaderboard.
Are you at home because you've been injured in an auto accident? Do you have questions about which insurance company should pay for your medical bills, your wage losses, your pain and suffering? At Hydukin Associates, we can answer your questions. We can handle your accident case on a percentage basis. We can help you to win your auto accident injury case. At Hydukin Associates, we work for you. Our help is as close as your telephone.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL. When time is running out and playoff positions are up for grabs, we're on the air. Touchdown! The Browns battle the Oilers live on ESPN Sunday Night NFL.
Hard-hitting NFL action on ESPN. Brought to you locally by Greensburg District, Pittsburgh Outstate Chrysler Plymouth Dealers, Charleroi Federal, Reese Warehouse Company, and Bryson Busha Oldsmobile Cadillac.
Indianapolis, Daytona, Talladega, Pomona, Baja. Why do we go to such distant places to put Craftsman tools to the test? If you're going to guarantee a tool forever, it's got to take the torture even guys like you dish out. 1,600 Craftsman hand tools, made in America, guaranteed forever, only at Sears. Besides, this kind of testing is fun.
Marty Reed, Jerry Garrett, and Ivan, the Iron Man Stewart, back with you at the True Value Brush Run 101, and that is our race leader, Jack Flannery. And he is trying to put away Walker Evans and the rest of this 32-truck field. There you can get an idea of the margin between these two greats of off-road racing.
Marty, he's...
Whoa, wait a minute, Ivan. Don't mean to interrupt you, but we've got a fire, and that is Scott Smith again. Now, remember, we showed you highlights from the Class 4 race where Scott caught on fire. Certainly not a highlight in his driving career, but he on fire again and out of this race. Hopefully, we'll get word to you as soon as we know he's okay.
Ivan, the track's drying out now. Is the four-wheel drive's advantage going away, and is Walker's two-wheel drive going to hook up, be the setup now?
Well, it should be. The two-wheel drive should be able to catch up here pretty quick.
Well, right now, Flannery streaking down the back stretch, making the turn one more time. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Flannery is pulling off to the side, and it looks as though the transmission problems have come back to bite him one more time. Notice he's looking down at the shifter, and here comes Walker Evans, your new leader. And we don't have to worry about track conditions, fellas, because the transmission spells doom for Jack Flannery.
Boy, that is a shame. He was doing such a great job, too.
Walker Evans now with the bit between his teeth. That man can only wonder what might have been if the transmission could have held together just a little bit longer. A frustrated Jack Flannery, an ecstatic Walker Evans. He knows all he has to do now is keep his Dodge on course, and he will win the Heavy Metal Championship. Second place is Jeff Dorr. Now, Dorr, who won the Heavy Metal crown back at our spring race here in Crandon, can only hope that Walker breaks because he's that far back. Here is fourth place Scott Taylor.
And about to go down a few more positions with a flat right front tire that's going to take him into the pits.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to be able to keep going on that problem. So, yes, there he is pulling into the pit. They'll change the tire. Meanwhile, here is Jimmy Crowder going by, and he'll take over the position. Fourth place now for the Tallahassee veteran. There is third place, Bill Loaf. This will be his best finish on any of the 3 times that we've been televising the True Value Brush Run. He's having a great day. And it's been a rough day on the banners and the fencing here at the course. Let's show you what happened just a few minutes ago. This is the 316 of Jerry Bundy. He wiped out an entire row of banners and almost went towards the Parsons Pond area, but managed to save it. Meanwhile, here is Walker Evans coming into that same area of the course, turn 1.
Walker's just exactly where every race driver wants to be. Out front, going away, everything looks good. What a great position to be in.
Well, he is approaching Herb Roseborough. It was lap traffic, and Walker just a few more turns because we're on the final time around here at this 2-mile layout at Crandon, Wisconsin, back inside.
And you can see the results of following Jack Flannery around here. It's been a real muddy ride for Walker and his co-driver David Kreider as they head around the final time through the gravel pit and head up towards the finish line.
You can see Walker's still got one left hand on the wheel, the right hand on the shifter, and just relaxed and just doing great.
Well, Ivan, it looks like you're going to have to talk one more time with your venerable opponent here on the Stadium and Off-Road Desert Series. Walker Evans makes the final turn and takes the checker flag to win the Heavy Metal Championship here at the True Value Brush Run 101. The cheers of the crowd in the background and the stream rolling by in northern Wisconsin. We'll be back to talk to our winner right after this.
The Congress is not unified with the president. The vote on this resolution should be yes.
This tax is a loser.
We side with the people and we side with freedom.
We better get our priorities straightened around in a hurry.
Where would the issues be without cable? The $15 million a year it costs to bring America C-SPAN is totally paid for by cable companies like yours.
What is the wisest course of action for our nation?
We see this as the first step.
Cable contributes to life.
Sony compact disc players. Your ears will tell you. It's not only what you play, it's what you play it on.
Today's ESPN Speed World event is brought to you by True Value Hardware Stores. You can do it with True Value Hardware. By Rancho Suspension for high-performance shocks and suspension systems. Get Rancho. Street smart, dirt tough. And by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil. Let's go down to Victory Lane.
Well, we got Walker Evans again. And Walker, you make it look so easy. Any trouble at all?
Well, not really. Once the track dried up, we started picking up the speed, and actually Jack pulled off, and that just left me running right out front.
Yeah, you know, I watched the start of that, and he did get one heck of a start.
He really did. And anytime you got four-wheel drive scratching on the ground, you're going to move it a lot of miles down the road a lot quicker.
Walker, I'm going to make a phone call right now. We get through here, I'm going to go back and call Les Unger with Toyota and get one of them Toyotas out here to race you. You did a hell of a job.
Well, I'll tell you, I love having you here to race. I'll tell you, we need Roger here too, right?
Exactly. You know, I talked to Jack Flannery yesterday, and he said his one dream was to beat Walker Evans. He's going to have to wait one more year, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is, but I'll be back.
All right, Walker. Congratulations again, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Great job.
Well, let's take a look at the final results. Here behind Walker Evans, it was Jeff Dorr in second place, Bill Loaf in third, Jimmy Crowder fourth, and Scott Taylor rounds out the top five here in the True Value Brush Run 101 Heavy Metal Championship. Let's go for closing comments. First to Jerry Garrett.
Well, I think the key to this race may have been taking a step backwards. Walker Evans took a little step backwards on horsepower, and that gave him the reliability that he needed to win these races. Guys like Jack Flannery, they got plenty of horsepower, but it's a little too much for the transmissions they're trying to pull that horsepower through. I think maybe if they took a step backwards, they'd find some reliability too. And from what I've seen out here today, there's plenty of horsepower left once you take that little step backwards. I think that's going to help a lot of these guys if they learn that lesson. Marty, Ivan?
Well, that's going to do it for us today here at the True Value Brush Run 101. We want to thank you for watching. I also want to thank you, Ivan Stewart. Any last impressions?
Well, I think it's just been a great racing, good crowd, a lot of enthusiasm here, and you watch for the Ironman coming back next year.
Yeah, but I've got a sneaky feeling, folks, it's going to be with a race truck because you want to take that title away from Walker.
You're right.
So long for now from all of us here on ESPN's Speed World. Accommodations for the True Value Brush Run 101 provided by Cheney's Country Club and Motel in Leona, Wisconsin.